Hello, BookTube, and here's an announcement for a reading thing for 2022. A bit late, but I had to sort of dig out these books. I am joining Scott Bryant of the Bookish Bryants in part of his big book reading of 2022. He's doing big books of fiction, mostly literature, and big books of history. And I will be joining him with 9 of the fiction books starting in February. And then I've added 2 for myself that will be rereads. And I thought this is a good excuse to read a few things that I haven't read and to reread items that I wanted to. And I've had to dig these out. They're all penguins, except one. Um, and I bought them in 2019, 2020. I sort of stocked up on penguins in 2020, new ones that is. But prior to that, used, I was buying penguins when they showed up in my local bookshop. Usually like used, but very gently used, I would say. No creases much on the spine, or if at all. As well, they might have been, some of them might have been shop returns. Like I used to buy from a place in Cambridge that was, I'm sure they were sort of returns. So they've got some kind of wear and tear to them, but not bad, and at a greatly reduced price. And they're everywhere. I don't have all my penguins together. So for February though, I've talked. Scott had February open, so I talked him into adding Rabelais' Gargantua and Pantagruel. It's one of my favorite books. I thoroughly enjoy it. This is the M.A. Screech translation, and I don't think I've read his translation. I've read a Penguin at least twice, possibly. I don't know if I ever finished it on the third go, but I remember there being a delay, and I don't know if I ever went back to it. But this is one of I find it a fabulous book, and it's one of my favorite books. And it runs in at just over 1,000 pages, so that is a big book. I didn't do January really at all for a big book like this, so I've come on board late. So March is a reread again, and it is Boccaccio's Decameron, and I figure, well, it's due for a reread in the years of the plague here. And this is translated by G.H. McWilliam. It says the translation was done in 1972, so it could very well have been the translation I read in the 1980s, but I can't be sure. And it's it's a little less. It's about 800 pages, so that's not too bad. 850 pages or so. Sorry, I'm trying to find a place to put these. And then we move on to some Russian literature. And this is one of the things that prompted me to do this, is because I am not well versed in Russian literature. I've read some, but not a lot. Like, I've never read any of the Tolstoy novels. I've read some of Tolstoy's short stories and some of his nonfiction, and I enjoyed them, but I just never got around to his fiction. So, in April, we are reading Anna Karenina, Leo Tolstoy, and this is translated by Richard Pevier and Larissa Volokonsky, if that's correct. and it runs in at not too bad, about 800 pages as well. Sorry, hitting things, trying to get things away. And so that was April. So May will be War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. This is not the translation that Scott is reading, but instead of me purchasing another one, because I have an Oxford hardcover of... No, I don't have... I've got an Oxford hardcover of Anna Karenina. Sorry, I thought I had a hardcover of War and Peace, but I don't. But this one is translated by Anthony Briggs. And it runs in probably close to 1,400 pages with the introduction and notes. And in June will be a reread. Don Quixote. Again, not sure if it's the same translator. I'm not sure the translator for this, but or the one that I read. But this is John Rutherford, and we're talking 950 pages plus. And July is a new translation, which I've wanted to read quite a while. And I might, see how it goes, continue on with the ones that are published yet. It's Lawrence Ellsworth is doing new translations of the Three Musketeers cycle. And I think there's 4 books done at the moment, and there's quite a few more. In this one, this is the translation that Scott is reading as well. It's over 700 pages, so that's quite nice. Not a huge amount. I'm a little straight because to me, a lot of people count books 500 pages as big. I don't. To me, if it's under 350 pages, it's a short book. Wow. It's a short, very short book if it's under 250. 350 pages to about 600 is sort of 650. To me, is normal size. Once you get over 800, 1,000, then you're getting a little longer, you know. So, but that's me. In most in a booktube, they class anything I think over like probably 600-700 pages as a big book. So we got the Three Musketeers, and then so that's a reread, but that is going to be a new read because of the translator. And The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Now this, again, I don't know if this is the same translator that I had read it originally. It definitely wasn't. The translation was published in 1996, so this is not the translation I read. And this is by Robin Russ. And it's over 1,200 pages, probably about 1,250 plus. And again, that is in August. September is another reread, and that's Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Now, this is a new translation. As far as I know, it's the newest, by Christine Doniger, with an introduction by Robert Toombs. And the translation was done in 2013. And this weighs in at over 1,400 pages with the notes. Now we're winding down the year with Three Russians. October is Crime and Punishment, and that is a reread from... Oh, it's interesting. This is one of the newer penguins that have the thing on. I didn't think they were. I must have got this in 2020 or late 2020. So they must. I didn't think they started them. But anyway, or was it the beginning of 2020? I can't remember now. But anyway, this is Crime and Punishment, and this is a reread. I really enjoyed this, and this is translated by David Macduff, and it's not huge. It's under 700 pages, so that'll be a quick read. And then in November is Dostoevsky's The Idiot, and I have not read this. And this is also translated by David Macduff. And it's longer than I thought it was. It's probably about 750 pages. And then we round out in December the brothers Karamazov. Sorry, there's something sticky. Must have been where a sticker was. Round out in December Dostoevsky with the brothers Karamazov. Again, one I have not read. And again, translated by David Macduff. And it runs in at just under 1,000 pages. So, yeah. So, again, just to recap. February is Gargantua and Pantagruel. March is the Decameron. April is Anna Karenina. And May is War and Peace. June is Don Quixote. July is the Three Musketeers. August is the Count of Monte Cristo. September is Les Miserables. And October is Crime and Punishment. November, The Idiot. And December, Brothers Karamazov. Now, I've got lots more here. If I get all those done very quickly in the month, I might add a few others. For instance, I've got Leo Tolstoy's Resurrection and Dostoevsky's Demons. So those could be done, and sliding away. And I have a whole stack here. I have a bunch of George Eliot's. This one I'd like to reread. This pile I think is all rereads. I'd like to reread this again. I read it a long time ago and enjoyed it to a certain extent, but not that much. And that's The Life and Opinions of Tristram Shandy, Gentleman. A Shaggy Dog Story. Do they actually say that in here? No, it isn't, but that's usually what it's called. By Lawrence Stern. So that would be nice to get back in again, and then maybe the George Eliot. Well, actually, no, I haven't read all of the George Eliot that's here. I've read 3, I think, of hers, and these I haven't. Not all the ones here. So I've got Daniel Deronda, which I have not read. Adam Bede, I may have. I can't remember. I've read Middle on the Floss, and I've read Middlemarch, and I think I've read Felix Holt. So those are the ones I have here. And then I've got Victor Hugo's Notre Dame de Paris. And yeah, and then a couple my favorites of Dickens. Because I got those really cheap, the Penguin editions. I've got Bleak House and Little Dorrit. So these are all big books, sort of big books. The 11 that I'm doing, I think, will run in at probably close to 9,000 pages. So we'll see how that goes. And if there is time, then I will pop a few of these others in. And if anybody's interested in reading along, I'll put a list down in the description. And I'll be announcing it a week or so before as well again. And saying that that's what we're going to do for the month. Anyway, take care, BookTube, and I hope everybody's doing well.